Hi everyone, welcome to GelatoConnect's Q1 release update. Over the last 15 years, we have worked with print service providers around the world, and we have seen the industry shift. Print is now more complex, costly, and also competitive than ever before. And this is why we have built GelatoConnect, the operating system for the future of print production. Within Gelato, we have more than 100 engineers who are working to deliver improvements and new features every single day. In this webinar, we will look back at the key highlights from the Q1 release. This is a demand and a request from a number of our customers, and that is why we are doing this webinar. My name is Pradeep. I'm the Senior VP for Product at Gelato. My background is in technology, and I have more than 15 years of experience building software. I'm joining you from Oslo today, and I have with me my colleague Zach, who is joining us from Denver, Colorado. Zach?
Yeah, thanks, Pradeep. And hi, everyone. Zach Brinkman. I'm the Director of Sales for GelatoConnect. As Pradeep mentioned, I'm in Colorado and joined Gelato 14 months ago to help with the launch of Connect, overseeing global go-to-market and sales. And have been in enterprise software for the past 15 years, but have been fortunate since joining Gelato to talk with thousands of folks around the world around the printing space, what's taking place, and where we could really look to help support. So I'm excited today to be a part of this and help share some of the insights we're hearing from the industry.
Thank you, Zach. I'm gonna start here. In Q1 2025, we had 149 improvements and new features that were released in Connect. As I mentioned, there's a big engineering team here, and we're working hand in hand with our customers and the industry to build this up. It's not about the number here, but what we're going to really share is the value that you can get as a printer today. There are three pillars. Everything that we do, all these 149 powerful upgrades, they deliver three of these benefits, right? And that's how we bucket it. So one, it helps you drive growth in volume, growth in revenue. Second, it helps you improve your efficiency by automating with software and AI. And the third pillar is control. This is about you having a single interface, a single platform where you can see and control your entire print facility. So those are the three pillars. Let's dive in and we'll look at the key highlights from each of the ones. The first one is growth. This is about you having the ability to say yes to more orders from your existing customers, quickly onboarding new customers, and also reaching new markets, which is perhaps something that you don't do today, but that is enabled by software. Zach, this theme here is I know your favorite. I know you speak to a lot of PSPs in the industry. What do you hear from them? Why do you advocate for this so much?
Yeah, I think there's a big transition going on with this space from, traditional offset or job-based work into digital, programmatic type work, and to access new categories such as e-commerce, B2B stores, web to print sites, web to print type stores is really a big thing that folks are looking for today. And it's not only about growth with existing customers, but it's new market opportunities and new growth expansion. And now with this, you can say yes to really any business that comes in, and it gives you quick onboarding with clients and ultimately at the end of the day, faster time to revenue.
No, thank you, Zach. Let's dive in, right? So the first feature we want to cover from Q1 is an AI assistant that helps you to create products. So how does this work? In the old ways, you would have thousands or hundreds of SKUs that your customers may want you to produce. Now you will have an assistant that creates it. This is going to save you money. It's going to help you to manage even bigger catalogs than what you have done before. So let me just dive in and show you in the product how this works. And for each of these features, I will do this here, which is to go and show you a demo of the GelatoConnect interface, how you can actually use this and how it works. So in this case, I'm going to show you the AI product builder or the AI assistant that build products. So first thing on the left here, you can see this is the GelatoConnect interface. We create a number of product models. You can think of a model as a model for a book or a model for a poster or a flat product. So there's many different models supported. And in this example here, I've taken a canvas model. And you can see here, there's a button here to create products. In the old ways, you would have a long Excel type sheet where you would need to go in and configure many different attributes. But this is where AI can really help. So once I hit the add button, you get to this interface. On the right side here, you can see the AI assistant. Let's imagine that you have a customer who's asked you to do a ton of Canvas products, and they've given you a CSV or a file with the different attributes or types of canvases you want to produce. I just paste it in here and say this is how the order from that customer would come in. And then I ask the agent to say, hey, can you please create these products for me? And once I push that over, this is powered by an LLM where all of these products in that sheet is read by AI, and it's converted into a format that Gelato will use to create those products. So let's actually look at what was in the file here. The file contained a number of canvas formats in terms of size, in terms of orientation, in terms of thickness of the frame. So you can see here that AI has mapped that there are different formats and orientations. And again, the color type, all of these attributes that were in the file, and then it's created every single variant. A variant is a version of the product. All of these different variants will be the SKUs that you will be able to support. So you can see here that it's quite a long list. For you to be able to create something like this manually, that would take time, and this is going to cut that down and also make it error proof, right? And finally, you can also see different thickness here. So this is a small example, but imagine the biggest e-commerce brand or a print on demand brand who comes to you and wants to do work with you. What would this tool mean for you? How much in time, how much power will you get to say yes to that customer without having to think about IT resources or projects that you would want to take? So that's in a nutshell what this tool does. So that's the AI product builder.
Yeah, and
Zach,
pretty real quick on
any
AI, what I've heard from a lot of folks is we want to embrace AI and we want to adopt it, but the challenge with it is where do I start? And that is the question many folks ask themselves. And I think with our approach, we want to help enable that starting point and the embracing of AI. So this is being embedded into the GelatoConnect product so you can take advantage of the functionality, the features, AI agents that are coming to the market and really start to embrace AI without having to try to worry about how do I start. So we're really trying to help solve that question through what we've built within Connect and our AI assistants.
Thank you, Zach. And then in these slides, one of the highlights I want to also share is that all of these big features, I mean, this is using in the background agentic AI model to deliver this. All of these technologies we build with collaboration and guidance from beta customers or our customers. So in this case, you can see, some of our customers, in this case, it's Hudson and ESP, who've actually helped us. They bring the expertise of operations, printing all of that in. And in Gelato, most of us don't come from a print background. We come from a software and technology background. It is this collaboration that really excites us, energizes us to solve these big industry challenges. The next one here, it really connects to what I just showed you. If you could create products with AI so fast, what if you could just add a customer with just a few clicks? And in this example here, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you could add a brand such as Cloud Printer. We take that example because they have more than 100,000 products, and a number of our GelatoConnect PSPs are a supplier or a producer for Cloud Printer. So this would take months of effort for you to actually onboard, but I'm going to show you now how this could be done with GelatoConnect with a few steps and a few clicks. So there are three steps really to add a brand or a customer. So the first step is to connect with via APIs or how they send orders to you. And first I create a customer. So you can see here in GelatoConnect, you can create as many customers as you want. Once you create a customer, you can define how the orders come into you. So for certain brands, such as Cloud Printer, what we've done is that when you create that customer, we have automated everything. So we already know how they send orders to you. So we've already created, you can see behind this, there's connectors, and that we've also set up what is called postback. So when let's say you completed printing of the order and you ship it, those updates are automatically also sent to this brand. So all of this is pre-configured. So that is step one, presets. Step two is to actually create the products. And here within the product models, which I showed you earlier, you can go and say, I want to add an entire customer's product catalog. In this case, add from a customer. And in this case, I'm going to say cloud printer. And once you load that, what we've done is we have run the AI model with Cloud Printer or many other brands who are in the making. And once that is imported, you can just go in and select from their catalog what are the products that you would like to produce for them. So in this case, I select a bunch of stuff. These are the machines that I support, let's say. And once I select that and go down here and I continue, the AI model is going to run in the background, and you give it a few minutes and you're going to have all of these products created and ready for you to produce. So this is basically what is it, like 30,000 products that would be created in a matter of minutes based on what I selected for this demo. So that's the power of this. And we are adding more brands as well. For example, this month we're adding another B2B brand called Silu, who will come live as well. So if you are a GelatoConnect PSP and a customer today, you will be able to basically, with these automations, add them and start doing work with them and grow your volume without having to take on the IT project and without having to invest in all of these different technologies that Gelato has done now. So I'm moving to the next one. We spoke about production, which is about how do I get volume from new customers? How do I create products quickly? Shipping is another big revenue driver. So the order volumes or the order sizes are decreasing with print on demand and with digital, and shipping becomes a bigger part of your P&L than what it used to be. So one of the differentiators and enablers is also about offering competitive and high quality shipping. So we've introduced the feature for you to be able to set custom markups for everything that you ship. So Gelato Connect Logistics already gives you access to 80 plus carriers, and it gives you competitive rates, which is based on aggregating all of the volume. But now you can also apply a margin in a flexible way for the shipping that you do on behalf of your customers. So I'm gonna show you again here how that works. So within the left menu here, you can see that logistics is one of them, and you have customer shipping markups. I have a couple of examples here, but I'll actually create one. So once you specify the customer, which customer it is, then either based upon a specific shipping carrier or based on the account itself, you are able to apply either a fixed fee or a percentage fee on top of this. In this case, I want to apply a percentage, and once I confirm that, you can see that it is added. So now when you receive orders, especially orders from storefronts, it could be a B2B storefront or a B2C storefront, web to print storefronts, the prices are automatically pushed from Gelato Connect into those storefronts to your customers, which will include this margin, so you can monetize shipping as well. So this is now available for all our customers.
Yeah, pretty. What I've heard a lot is, shipping is really a cost center for a lot of folks. And now with this, through accessing our aggregated purchasing power with carriers and our rates, this is really an opportunity to move your logistics front and shipping from a cost center within the business to a revenue generating engine, and to find margin within that that's going to help drive profitability. So it's a key thing. It, could, particularly with different trends going on within the space, to help drive profitability in an area that used to be really a cost center.
No, absolutely. And because the many of the many of the customers approach a PSP, and this is what I hear from our customers, from a print pricing perspective, so that becomes more and more and more competitive. But then I have heard that there are accounts for PSPs where they make more margin from a shipping perspective than a product perspective. So this becomes very interesting once you start to think about how you can scalably apply that and monetize this aspect of your business. So those were three highlights from driving growth. Next, we're going to look at increasing efficiency as a theme, and what are the key highlights from this. This is going to let you cut costs across labor, across materials, Gelato Connect procurement and shipping, and automate the tasks. I mean, we know what is happening around the world with tariffs, but also there is a a labor cost increase that we hear a lot. I mean, just look at COVID up until now, we hear something like, it's tens of percentage in terms of increase year over year. So this is something that software can help you to solve, and AI. So we are very excited about the automation that can increase efficiency.
Yeah,
Jumping in
and with a lot of the, complexity it is in this space, printers, I've heard are asking themselves like, how do we scale our business and grow through efficiency without hiring? And how can we really leverage software to help support growth, and move jobs through the facility faster, more effectively with our existing teams? And this is really where we're focused in on from an efficiency standpoint, is allowing you to move jobs through the facility faster with the existing team and really be able to meet new SLAs that are being demanded from e-commerce platforms like TikTok or an Amazon, so that we really focus in on efficiency to enable the existing staff that you have and provide the scalability for the business.
No, absolutely. I think I would also highlight the customer stories page that we have on the GelatoConnect website, where we've shared some of the proof points and case studies, right? And in terms of how GelatoConnect has increased packaging efficiency, that has, reduced basically sizably the labor costs. So I think those are all interesting pieces, but we are not satisfied with that. We know that, the future depends, or in the future it's going to be more automation, more software. So this is something that we are very excited about to pursue. So the first feature here within the efficiency bucket that we want to share is around pick and pack, or how you can handle stock items together with your print items in an efficient way. If you're working with a large B2B brand, let's say you take over the entire marketing stack and all of the physical products that the employees would need to purchase. So if you're setting up a store like that, which this is a common use case of across a number of customers, you would have items that you would have to also warehouse and ship. And in the old world, this has been a challenge because the print products work in a certain way in a workflow, and then you would have some kind of warehouse management system, or WMS, which is not linked, and they're all sitting in silos, but you would need to somehow marry that and keep track of that. So what GelatoConnect brings is the horizontal power with, procurement and inventory connected with workflow and connected with logistics. So that this is one of those features which is enabled by that connected horizontal layer of software. So what this allows you to do is to scalably support pick and pack. So if you have a brand who would want to warehouse items with you and ship that combined with print, this would make things so much more automated. So let me dive into the platform to actually show how this works in practice. So the first thing you would need to do is to define your pick and pack item, or the stock item that you would need to ship with, some of the attributes. In this case, I've used the example of a keychain, which let's say you're not producing, but it's just a stock item that you either the brand gives it to you, or you just buy it from a supplier. Once you define what the product is, the next step is to go and say that this is a stock item, not a print item, and how it needs to be fulfilled. That's what we call a workflow for pick and pack. So the next step you can do here is to define that workflow. So what you're looking at here, this is our workflow builder, where you are able to flexibly define how you would want to handle any product, not just print, but also pick and pack. So let's actually look at that here, this product here for keychain, but it could be many other pick and pack items. I've just simplified it for one product here. What we want to do is, once it comes in, we wanna pull the product location by SKU. This is sitting in your GelatoConnect's inventory and warehousing system, to be able to identify where that is and pull that out, create a job ticket as part of this. It could be digital or physical. And you would be able to also marry a print item together with this keychain and bundle that together, right? So generate that job ticket, reserve that stock in GelatoConnect's inventory system. So you deduct quantity. Let's say you get an order for 10 keychains in an order. You would want to reduce that quantity so you know when to replenish that. And that's the workflow. So once you define this workflow, you're basically ready. You've created the product, and you've linked that and created a workflow here. Now, this is where the magic happens with GelatoConnect working end to end. I will show you an example of one of the advantages, which is GelatoConnect's inventory system, which is quite powerful in this regard. So let's say of the product you've created a few different keychain formats. And let's say that this first keychain here, you can see that this is out of stock, but it's in this storage. So because it's out of stock, you can just use the replenishment or the automated replenishment engine within GelatoConnect. And there's a button here to say create. You can just create an order to replenish stock for this keychain. So all of this is happening within GelatoConnect to keep tabs and help you replenish and efficiently handle pick and pack.
And Restock is another one where we've layered in AI to help with recommendations. So because Connect we're consuming through the workflow and it's tied back into inventory, we can help through AI and machine learning, forecast your stock needs, make the recommendations, all leveraging AI. So it's another way to be able to embrace AI within the software.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Warehouse management and inventory. This is again an area which I think becomes increasingly important as you move into new products and categories, because it's not just paper. There's a ton of different stuff that you would need to manage, and that needs to be managed through software versus an Excel. The next feature here with the efficiency theme again is about reusable templates for shipping. What we've heard from customers is that there is an automated shipping flow, which GelatoConnect is world class at. So when an order comes into GelatoConnect, we automatically pick the package, create the label, and you scan and it ships out. But there are also cases where they want to be able to manage that ad hoc. So this is where templates come in. So we've added a number of templates and also tracking, which I will now show, which again makes your process not just for digital programmatic work where orders are coming in by API, but for all of your orders that you may also be handling as part of your MIS. So here are the features you can see here. The first one is about save packages. You can save different package sizes that you can pull and quickly generate labels. So that's the first one. Next, it's also about an address book. So if you would like to be able to apply an address for a manual label that you want to create within GelatoConnect Logistics and take advantage of the preferential rates. Again, also for your MIS jobs, you will now be able to do that because you can just load up addresses from the address book. And then finally, if you're doing any type of web to print work where you need to ship updates or tracking links to your web to print shop, then this feature here called notifications is going to help you. You can see here two examples. So you could share a webhook or an update to a store which is sitting on a B2C storefront like Shopify, or it could be a B2B storefront like Infigo or Presero. So all of that can be configured within this. And then again, you could also create email notifications, if you will. So again, within shipping, this is a focus area again to help you to both manage client expectations, but also automate these notifications so you don't have to get customer support inquiries to say, hey, what's happening with this order? So this is that automation. So the last theme that we will look at today is about taking control. This is about firstly understanding the performance of your entire facility, and secondly about having the ability to manage that and change things. This all comes down to data, how GelatoConnect condenses and compiles that data and gives you the insights at the right time. I'm going to show you things like customizable push notifications today. So how amazing would it be if you, as the CEO or the production manager of a print facility, can set up notifications when certain conditions are met. So these are some of the improvements I'm gonna show as part of this. Zach, I mean, you visit a number of industry players and printers as well. So when you see how it was before they got GelatoConnect and what you hear from them, how would you rank this? Because we spoke a lot about growth, but I think this is an interesting area.
Yeah, I think, one of the key common themes is, for folks when they start their day, they've historically had to go into 4 or 5 different softwares, try to run some queries, and then figure out, what's going on within the facility. Or if they were away, maybe at a conference or a summit, you know, they would lose visibility into what's going back, on within the facility. So now with centralizing everything within one platform, centralizing the data, it gives you clear insight into what's going on within the day-to-day. And what I've really enjoyed is when we're at events, I can see our customers using the mobile app, tracking, what's going on back at home, how are they doing with dispatch on time, and then even doing restock replenishment all through the mobile app while on the road. And what they've shared with me is it's really a peace of mind where they know what's going on at any point, anywhere.
Yeah, and I think we should also, when that doesn't happen, what is the price you pay, right? When you don't know that you've missed an SLA or missed a delivery for a customer, or you've missed that there are bottlenecks that are just brewing up in your facility. If you miss that, what is that alternative cost? That is something that I think is very interesting in terms of the power of having full control over the end-to-end chain. And when we say this, often. Uh, when we speak to printers, they often gravitate to, oh, this is what's happening in my production. But the thing that differentiates for me is also around having control of that all the way from inventory up until shipping and not just production. So that piece there, I think, is quite interesting, because if you run out of stock, I don't think any of that part within the production matters as well. So the first feature here, this is was a highly demanded feature, and we are quite proud and excited to share this with all of our customers. We call this the production status tracker. So this is going to allow you to track every job in real time, all the way from receipt up until dispatch. You can see a few interfaces on the right. You can see both mobile and desktop, which actually is quite interesting for this. So we would have job status scanning that is incorporated along your production steps, along your production workflow. And as it moves across, all of the systems get updated. So earlier I showed you how GelatoConnect sends updates to your customers. Now you can also send updates to your customers at a level which is much more granular than is it only printed or shipped, to which station it is in, which step of the production it is in. So this is going to again help you identify those bottlenecks in real time to be able to diagnose them and address them, even if you're away from your facility using your mobile app. So let me share how these interfaces looks in the product. So here, this is the desktop view. You can see here that there is a list of stations. So in this case, for example, this is a paper product which has these following steps in the workflow, which is printing, laminating, cutting, binding, and packaging. So this is a glue bind book workflow. So within this, you can see that for the different days, how is your progress and how much have you done? So for example, if it is today, and today it's almost the time when things need to be picked up, and you have only completed 50% and things are stuck in cutting, then those are insights that you can use to actually maybe make a call or understand what is going on within your team. So the desktop is one aspect of this, but also the mobile, which I will show. So what I showed you here, this is the manager view. So the production manager is going to see, sort of helicopter view of what is going on in the facility across the stations. But within each station, the operator can also see what percentage of their work has been completed, and they can, continuously keep track and update that within the station view of GelatoConnect. On the mobile app, you are able to also make these scans. So if you have an existing scanning equipment, you could, of course, use that. But if you don't have that, for example, our new customer who is now onboarding, they've said, because they have to start from scratch, they said, hey, we're just going to use the mobile app. We don't even want to have any other devices within the floor. So the mobile app also becomes a scanner for you to scan your jobs in batches to progress them from one step to another. So this is an example where the desktop device and the mobile device work together to give you that visibility and tracking. More on mobile. Now this is about executive dashboard and giving you the full view of your facility, not just about today, but overall. So this feature here, or this capability here I'm going to highlight, is about analytics within your mobile app, which gives you all of the business metrics in one place, and also allows you to deep dive even when you're, away from your seat or away from your facility. So let's look at how this looks in practice. So let's look at the first interface here on the left with analytics. So you can see here, what was your dispatch on time? So what percentage of orders have you got out the door on time? So it says 94%. If you're going to start doing more and more web to print and print on demand work, so this needs to be much higher, right? Like, I mean, you really want to firstly measure it, track it, and then improve it. So this absolutely is the top metric. And then you can also see your volume, your error rate, and start to break that down. So what happened last week? So then you can start to see this is how I performed last week. You can also see, because you have the inventory information within GelatoConnect, you can also see how many items are low in stock and how many are out of stock. So again, you can start to get a sense of how things are going, and also follow up with the team. The one that I love the most, and something that I have personally been waiting for, because a lot of customers have asked us about, is the notification settings. Now you're able to configure under what conditions or what type of errors you would want to get a push notification on your mobile app. So um, the industry today, most of them, as far as I see, works in the process of every day you need to go and check at a certain time. Zach, earlier you mentioned every morning they need to come and look at 6 different dashboards, but this kind of flips that around, where they are going to get a push notification when something hits that threshold, versus them having to go and check it to know something is not right. So the final feature highlight here is order analytics. So if we take so GelatoConnect is going to be processing all of your orders from many of the customers who are sending you orders via storefronts or web to print, via APIs, in many different ways. And they're all coming in and they're getting bucketed, imposed, produced by GelatoConnect. And one of the things that our customers have said is, I need a cockpit. I need a central place where I can go and see how my orders are doing. Are there any challenges with those orders? How am I doing on my SLA? What are the different product categories that are driving sales? How is seasonality impacting our business? So this becomes a bit of a one-stop dashboard to be able to get all of that information. So again, for the order analytics, let me share with you how that interface actually looks, and let's walk through that, right? So this here, it's on the left menu. We've added that under the workflow and order intake section here called analytics. So this doesn't just give you what is the total passed and failed orders, which is, sort of hygiene, but also starts to give you insights and where you need to take action. It shows you how many hours are delayed. This is a demo environment where everything is on time. But then the part that I want to highlight really is issues needing attention. So what this does is, it is scanning your different orders, your different print jobs, which is, each of the broken down version of your orders. And it also looks at technical aspects such as, was the API call correct? Is there any issues with creating the order in the first place? So all of this is scanned and they're bucketed into issues here. And your team, it could be a CSR. If this does happen, let's say a customer has made an error and the order didn't come in in the right way, or the file was missing. So you will then get the option to either acknowledge the error, which means it just goes away, or you're able to view it and fix it. So typically this is a few in a day. You come in the morning, you're able to pick that up and sort that out. So you never miss the beat in terms of shipping this on time. The longer you wait to fix these issues, it's going to create a delay for your customer. So that's the idea for us, to kind of condense all the issues needing attention in one place. But also it gives you other analytics in terms of what is the different status of each of the orders, what are the different types of products that are driving volume for you, and also distribution in terms of which countries are you shipping to, and how many have been, what percent has been shipped, and what is still in there. And the most interesting part with this part here is like a daily dispatch overview. How much has been dispatched on time? How much is due every single day? One of our customers, for them, it's actually a requirement to be able to filter and share this with a customer. So you can go up here, filter by a customer, and you can just export this as a report and share with them. So those are capabilities that you can get. So again, you can filter this by customers, products, and see how those customers or products are doing in isolation as well. So this is the other analytics part. Zach, I don't know. I know you and I have discussed this aspect, but any thoughts from you here?
I think one of the main things is it's not just surfacing the data and the issues, but it's allowing you to take action when issues come up, but then also make informed business decisions. And by that, one of the things I've heard from customers is we can track margin across products. What do we want to try to sell more of, increase sales of, because we're more profitable on that. Or when we look at dispatch on time, maybe it's a specific product where there could be challenges of trying to get those out the door quickly. You can make those adjustments because you've got insight into that and really help track better performance across the business through the analytics and control you now have.
Yeah, I've shared ESP and Bennett as pilot customers who helped us a lot, who've had to build these kind of things in other systems. But it's not just them, right? Typically, because you end up with many different softwares to piece together things, you don't have the central view, and therefore you would have to pipe this into a Power BI or a different analytics tool to be able to merge that data together. So this is like heavy IT work. So one of the benefits that our customers, speak to us a lot about is the ability to just remove. There is so much purity in just removing some of these tools, which are just working to connect and bring that data together. When you start to get this type of power within a single tool to see the full end-to-end view. So those are the key highlight features that we wanted to share from Q1. I know there were 149 that I spoke about. We don't have time today to go through all of them, but I'm gonna share with you a few updates before we leave. Firstly, we're gonna have our next webinar about more growth, and I'm gonna highlight two features here, which I think are super interesting. First one is about order routing. How can you quickly find a local PSP or a printer in a different market and send orders to them without having to do IT work to set that up? So that's super exciting. Some of our customers are very excited about it. The other one is direct integration with web to print storefronts. So today, if you're working with a lot of codes and emails and so forth, and you want to move some of that work to a storefront, either for your internal sales team or for your customer to place the order directly, we are launching native integrations, and we have launched native integrations, and this is going to be covered in that webinar. Don't miss that. We will post the date and time for that. The last thing before I leave, sorry, Zach, you had a comment there? Or?
I was gonna say smart order routing is probably the thing I'm most excited about, and I do see like this is going to change capex type conversations for organizations. You can move into entire new product categories without a single investment into a new machine. It's going to eliminate the do I buy a machine and try to fill it with capacity. You can find the capacity to take on the work and then invest into the machine later when you have the capacity. That one to me is incredibly exciting. And that was driven from a lot of our customers saying, hey, we want to expand into new markets, new countries, new products. And that is going to be the solution. That's the solution that delivers on that. So very excited about that one.
Yeah, no, that's actually one of the, and I was part of the product team building this out. And one of the interesting use cases is that a PSP came to us and said, hey, I don't do any apparel production right now. I don't plan to do that right now, but I have customers today who have needs for, both apparel and non-apparel products. I'm covering non-apparel, but why should I say no to apparel? Instead, I want to take in that order and just route it away to, I know who needs to produce that, and they're using GelatoConnect as well, and I just met them. So how can you enable that? And this is literally going to enable that for them. So if you have a use case like that, thinking about smart capex allocation, absolutely the webinar you should be on. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is that you can, in addition to sharing this webinar perhaps with your team, we've also put all of the updates, because we can't go through all the 149. We've compiled that into a release page. So here is the release page for Gelato Connect, and you can see here, this is the hot of the press, our webinar, but we go into some of the topics that we discussed. If you are an existing customer, you can also just go in here and see how to use it and open the help article for that particular feature directly from that interface. So your team can just go in here and start to benefit from that. And then again, as you move down, you're going to see more of these pieces. There is a sneak peek on smart order routing. It's already in here. You can see on the right, there is actually an AI builder as well within this. So if you're more interested, you can look at it in this page. And then finally, as you go down, we've also listed many more features. So if you're an existing customer, these may be features that may be interesting for you. So we've compiled sort of 50 handpicked ones out of the 149 down here. So you can also check this out. If you're not a customer of GelatoConnect, of course, we're happy to share with you a deeper demo. Zach and the team will be happy to support. So you can also request a demo here. So with that, I just want to say thank you for joining, and we are very excited about Q1 and what we've delivered. And our focus now is to really make sure that all our customers are going to fully get the benefits and value from that. But at the same time, we also have powerful things that we are working on now in Q2. So we're looking forward to the next webinar in this series where we can share those updates with you as well about Q2. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.